All right, here we are for the last set of week one. Blockslop Inc. versus Pigeonwatch. Choosing to do a ball mirror at the start. All right, we see the TP out from Blockslop Inc. Squeaker swapping over to the Tracer. We see as both teams are running ball with a Kiriko. Different choice of main support. Um, both teams have a Tracer to follow up on the ball and get some picks of their own. Lex pushed out by Blue with an early fireball. Blue choosing to go more aggressively on the point, whereas Eve is looking to take angles. Eve swinging on point, Link getting picked off by Yo-Yo. Squeaker heads into the back line. A nice clean kill onto that Trace or Mercy with uh, both of them. Blue taking down Yo-Yo. And it is just Eve left on cart. The team needs to finish this off now. Fanternal poking from main. Eve still stalling the point. Chain unfortunately missed by Milky Way. We see as Blue gets a low. Squeaker able to pick off Yo-Yo without the stick. Lex aggressively on the back line, but being forced out by Milky Way. Link able to get the pick on Soul Eater. Squeaker taking down Bossman. It is just kills all Blockslop Inc. in the kill feed. Blue taking down Eve. The blue ball prevailing. And now the point is flipped in favor of Blockslop Inc. However, Pigeonwatch did an amazing job of stalling there, especially Eve. I mean, 47% for not even winning a team fight is great. Link getting taken down by Yo-Yo. Blue pushing in aggressively, misses the slam. Bossman getting very low. Here we see as Blue is fireballing. Soul Eater going down to Blue. Lex taking down Fanternal and Link FM, able to take down aggressively. Here comes the other minefield from Blue. Lex very healthy, or very close to death, but able to become healthy. Eve and Blue making their fight on point and known. Blue just stalling the objective. Eve also going very low. Milky able to pick off Lex in the back line. Bossman TP's on, saves Eve. And here comes the flip finally. But Eves goes down. So does Yo-Yo Link with an amazing overclock. Taking down Soul Eater as well. Just hitting heads. This guy going crazy. And it is 2 versus the Kiriko. Or actually, it's 2 versus Squeaker. Blockslop Inc. going down even with that amazing performance from Link. Blue getting pulsed. Squeaker taking down Bossman. And Blue is back to stalling on point. Here comes the ult, the Kekai Sanctuary from Milky. Yo-Yo not able to shoot through it. A very good ult from Milky Way, unfortunately going down to Lex. Yo-Yo very low here. Link getting the pick, or getting picked by Lex. And Yo-Yo's able to stall with Eve and Soul Eater. Blue back onto the point, trying to get any progress here. We see as he is again stalling on point, trying to get some chip damage. Yo-Yo very low. Here comes the Suzu from Bossman to save Yo-Yo. Unfortunate disconnect from Link FM takes him out of the fight for a second. Blue still stalling on point. Link back on the Sojourn. Squeaker able to get the kill again onto Yo-Yo. Milky getting the pick onto Lex. Soul Eater gets the res. Blue going down, Yo-Yo going down. Here comes the minefield from Eve, the multi-ball covering almost all of point, and Link, unfortunately, not stepping far enough on. That is a C9 and Blockslop University. Don't get round one. Round one goes to Pigeonwatch. We see as Blockslop Inc. changes a lot of their tactic this map. Fanternal getting onto the Jetpack Cat, Milky taking the Kiriko from Fanternal, Link FM onto the Bastion, Squeaker onto the Pharah, and Blue sticking that ball. Pigeonwatch sticking the same comp as before. The Castion plus Pharah is going to be brutal, especially for Pigeonwatch, who only really have Yo-Yo who can even contest uh, the Flyers. So I'm expecting very few deaths from Link, Fanternal, and Squeaker, and a lot more deaths from Milky and Blue, as those are the ones who can be reached by Pigeonwatch. Squeaker going high, trying to get a boop off the map. Yo-Yo staying on the map miraculously, despite getting hit by that boop. Eve is already in the backline, turned on by 4. Link FM picked up by Fanternal. Blue going into the side room, getting very low, choosing to fall back to his team. Squeaker getting a pick onto Soul Eater. Milky getting the pick onto Lex. And Suzu is out. Yo-Yo going down. All right, Link still in Bastion form. On point. Eve's on the point as well. Finally, there is capture progress coming out. Blue getting the pick on to Bossman, and the point goes the way of Blockslop Inc. Lex forced out. Yo-Yo from main going aggressive. Here we see as Lex goes in first. Blue gets a slam down. Now pushed by the rest of the team. There's a barrage from Squeaker, able to pick off both supports. Yo-Yo trying to chase to get the kill. Squeaker surviving perfectly with cover. Milky taking down Lex. And Squeaker looking to get the kill onto Yo-Yo. That was a 3K from Squeaker and an amazing distraction. I mean, it was so easy for Blockslop Inc. to finish off the rest of Pigeonwatch. There's the res from Soul Eater onto Yo-Yo, trying to keep them up 5. Um, Lex now onto the Echo to contest the Sky enemies more. A good flex DPS option against Flyers. And Eve very low, pushed out by Blockslop Inc. Yo-Yo going aggressive onto Link FM, not able to get the pick as the Bastion is pocketing. Blue trying to get a good slam here. All right, Yo-Yo getting the pick onto Link. Here comes Minefield from Eve. Blue knocking Yo-Yo off the map. The Kitsune rush from Bossman isn't finding much. Mines come out from Blue. Both balls having minefields on point. Blue crashing headfirst into the minefield. And we see as the point is now flipped by Pigeonwatch, but Eve has gone down. Here comes the aggressive turn from Yo-Yo. Booped forward, finished off by Milky Way. If the map wasn't going to finish him first, Milky got to it before the map did. All right, here comes the copy from Lex onto Pharah. Looking to finish off Link. Does successfully finish off Link. And is able to finish that kill onto Fanternal. Squeaker getting picked off by Yo-Yo and one direct from Lex. Blue stalling on point, but with his team dead, he's just going to choose to get out. Here we see Yo-Yo getting the early pick. Link FM getting forward on the Bastion here. Blue and Eve both choosing to roll around point. Eve swapping direction. Squeaker hitting the barrage, killing Bossman. Milky picking off Eve. Ignore that voice crack. And now the flip is back finally for Blockslop Inc. 83 and counting. Yo-Yo poking out Fanternal. Link pushing aggressively, getting the pick onto Yo-Yo. That's one down. Blue killing Lex. Fanternal going aggressively here. Soul Eater being chased. Fanternal finishing off the Kiriko. It is just Eve and Soul Eater on point, trying to stall. There are mines everywhere. Blue hanging in the air, getting the pick on a Soul Eater with Pile Driver. Uh, and the mines stop Eve from rolling around point, and Milky picks off Eve. Point goes in favor of Blockslop Inc. It is 1-1. Our last point will be Night Market. There's just so much waiting. All right, we're at the final point of round one. See, Squeaker is taking an aggressive angle. Neither team swapping except for Bossman getting off of the Kiriko onto the Ana. Eve rolling through, trying to pick off Link. Link does not get booped off, though. The self-repair and the heals from both supports able to keep Link alive through Yo-Yo's damage. Lex pushing aggressively, but the core is sticking together extremely well. Now we see as Blue goes aggressive, able to pick off both supports with the help of Link. And Pigeonwatch just have to fall back. Point already capped by Blockslop Inc. They're going to be counting down this objective progress. Milky able to pick off Yo-Yo. All right, Blue getting slept. The Groggy making it impossible for him to escape. Lex picking off Blue. Squeaker able to boop Eve off the map, but that's so many picks from Pigeonwatch. Milky going aggressively on the supports, trying to do something before she dies. Able to get picked up by Blue. Squeaker taking down 2. Link pushing aggressively with form. Blue on point, taking advantage of the numbers advantage. Getting slept again by Bossman. Bossman having these sleeps on point. And Lex getting taken down by the minefield from Blue. And Yo-Yo taking down Fanternal and Link FM, keeping control of point. Yo-Yo getting very low. Blue finishing off Yo-Yo. Here comes the Kitsune Rush from Milky Way. Blue and Milky trying to 2v4 right now, but Link able to come back in time. Uh, Milky Way gets picked off, but Bossman going down as well. Both flex supports taken down. Fanternal picking off Lex. Yo-Yo picked off by Link. Both of them killing each other. And now it is just the Mercy left alive. And now it's just the ball. Eve, the only one left alive for Pigeonwatch, still holding the point strong. They're all walking forward. Lex recall forced. Um, and Blockslop Inc. set up very well on this point. Yo-Yo taking down Fanternal, but Milky and Squeaker trading out, getting 2 picks. Eve getting the pile driver, unfortunately missing the ledge and going off the map. And now Blockslop Inc. back 62% and counting. Squeaker getting the early pulse bomb onto Bossman, staggering the aggression of Pigeonwatch. Soul Eater getting the res off to undo that a little bit faster. Blue trying to get a slam, no one walking through door. Eve now looking to slam on the high ground. Blue pushing onto the supports, getting slept and naded. Able to get out. Link and Milky picking off people in the high ground with the help of Fanternal. And now everyone is heading back to point. Milky and Squeaker very low. Milky saved by Fanternal. Suzu also keeping her alive. Amazing stuff there from these two. All right, and we see as Link takes down Eve, Blue gets slept again. That is a nanoed Tracer trying to get the pick onto Mercy. It is just Tracer left alive. Lex trying to win the 1v2, but Squeaker takes him down. Yo-Yo walking on the point just to try and stall. And Blockslop Inc. takes map 1 against Pigeonwatch. All right, for map 2, we have Blockslop Inc. On defense first. Blue choosing to play the Doomfist. Pigeonwatch choosing to put Jeff in and have Eve sit out. Jeff, the tank player for Pigeonwatch. Eve just wanted a ball mirror with Blue, and Jeff was a little bit late to the set. All right, same comp from Blockslop Inc. Just ball switch out for Doom. Pigeonwatch mirroring mostly Winston instead of Doom, Mercy instead of Cat, and Sierra getting punched off the map early by Blue instead of the Bastion. Here we see Lex trying to fight Squeaker, but the care from Fanternal keeping him alive. Lex taking the Mega, getting punched and killed by Blue. Squeaker following up with Blue on Jeff, but not getting these picks. Pigeonwatch still on cart, still holding strong. Blue misses the punch onto Jeff, but Jeff jumps up onto the high ground where Link FM already is. Sierra goes aggressively, gets the tracking dart onto Link and takes him down. Blue holding block on main, just trying to keep the enemy team back. Jeff getting the pick onto Fanternal. Bossman getting the pick onto Squeaker. And it looks like Blue's going to be going down here to Yo-Yo. Blockslop Inc. almost fully dead here. And I believe Pigeonwatch is going to get the first cap here in just a minute and 30 seconds. Squeaker takes down Yo-Yo. Blue very aggressively going in, getting traded. Link stuck by Lex. And we see as Lex trying to push the backline back as cart progress is made by Pigeonwatch. Squeaker on Yo-Yo, taking the 1v1. Bossman TP's back to clear Squeaker. Now Lex is here to try and finish the cleanup on Squeaker. Lex choosing to go back now that Squeaker is really far away. Milky getting the early pick on a Soul Eater. Here we see as Milky is pushed into the dropship, primal forced by the core of Blockslop Inc. Bossman or Blue getting the early shot onto Jeff. Another punch. Blue choosing to go chase. All right. It looks like we're going to be chilling here for now. Jeff forced out, getting healed up by his team. Link on the high ground. Yo-Yo. Uh, Here comes an aggressive jump from Link FM, or aggressive defensive ult from Link FM due to the aggressive Winston dive. Link now pushing Blue, picking up the kill onto Jeff as he jumps out. And that is a team kill from Blockslop Inc. onto Pigeonwatch. Link, the only one getting traded. Squeaker set up on the high ground, looking to get a pick here. Sees Lex. All right. Blue pops punch, gets the hit onto Yo-Yo. Massive stick, able to pick off both supports. Blue getting that punch to follow up. He pushes forward, misses the first punch onto Yo-Yo. Second punch able to finish off Yo-Yo. Blue getting very low, popping the meteor strike, able to drop it down on Jeff. Punches out. Very clean contest of the spawn doors from Blue there on the Doomfist. All right, here comes the Kitsune Rush. Yo-Yo popping the Sierra ult. It hits Blue very hard. The Kitsune was matched by Blockslop Inc., but unfortunately it's not going to do enough. Squeaker trying to push Lex back. Lex recall forced. Squeaker very low, but gets the health pack to stay alive. You see as a Yo-Yo goes aggressively forward, getting picked off. Here comes the pulse bomb from Lex. Doesn't find a kill due to the Suzu. Holy shit. Both Suzus used to save the pulse target. Now it's just Blue and Milky. Milky very low in dropship. Blue trying to stall on point as long as possible, but he's out of cooldowns, and that's just it. He is going to be taken down. Bossman taking down Milky. And we're nearing the end of second point. Link FM getting very low, saved for a while by Fanternal, but not able to stay alive. Lex and Jeff just looking for these kills. Yo-Yo finding the exit pick onto Fanternal, and Blue staggers on point. All right, Link pushing aggressively onto Yo-Yo, trying to get this pick. Bubble comes out to save Yo-Yo. Here comes the ult from Link, able to find a pick onto Yo-Yo. Blue taking down Soul Eater. Jeff finds the pick onto Milky. Pops Primal in the back line. Fanternal picks up Link FM to protect him. And now Squeaker and Blue look to chase out Jeff and Lex as they're the last two left alive for Pigeonwatch. Blue going for a punch, missing it, and just jumping out. Blue gets stuck, but pops the ult to stop it from Lex. Blue going aggressively, trying to get the finish kill onto Soul Eater. There's the pulse from Squeaker, doesn't find anyone. Bossman popping the Kitsune Rush here in the fight. Blue just trying to get a support, able to pick off Yo-Yo mid-fight. Link getting traded. Blue popping the punch, unable to find the pick onto Bossman. Lex getting 3 kills that fight. Soul Eater rezzing Yo-Yo. Squeaker able to pick off Bossman, but it's just too little too late. Blockslop Inc. is fully taken out here. You see as Fanternal and Link on the high ground shooting down with the nades. Jeff taken down by Link FM. Blue popping the punch. Squeaker able to take down Soul Eater. Yo-Yo very low there. Fanternal picking up that finishing kill. Really clean stuff. All right, now Squeaker taking down uh Bossman. Link taking down Jeff. Link taking down Lex. Here comes the catnap, Yo-Yo going down, and there will be a hold at the end for Blockslop Inc. If they push all the way to the end, they will overtake Pigeonwatch and win the set. All right, here we see as Blockslop Inc. has not changed anything up. Pigeonwatch also neither changing anything up. Blue able to get the early pick on the Bossman, taking the high ground with his team, or for his team. Blue punching, finding Milky finds the pick onto Lex. She's set up on the high ground that Blue cleared earlier. Jeff trying to retake the high ground. Milky able to finish the kill onto Yo-Yo. And Blue pushing aggressively onto Bossman and Jeff. Jeff saving Bossman. Blue chooses to get out now that the tank's there to contest him. And they have already pushed point almost to the end of this corner. Or to the end of first point. There's the contest from Jeff and Lex. Bossman going down Fanternal, picking up that kill. Lex takes down Squeaker. Link finds a trade. And Blue misses the punch onto a corpse. And Yo-Yo taken down by Link. Jeff swapping off of the Winston onto the Orisa, looking to try and counter Blockslop Inc.'s Doomfist. Alright, Orisa does a lot of damage to Doom. Lex able to take him down in the end. Blue going down. Link going down to Yo-Yo. We see as Squeaker tries to stall Cart during this fight. Goes down. And Yo-Yo picks off Milky Way. Blue getting that early pick onto Lex, able to finish him off pretty easily. There are a lot of ults here from Blockslop Inc. that could make a lot of progress here. Milky getting hurt here. Blue popping the kill on Soul Eater. Jeff taking him down. Lex getting the hit onto Link. And Squeaker takes down Lex. That is a full wipe for Blockslop Inc. Fanternal going to kite Link FM back. Or taxi Link FM back. Blue on the high ground, missing his punch onto 3 people and going to get traded here. Or both Curies go down actually. And Blue doesn't go down, but Soul Eater gets the res. And it's just so over. Link trying to find any damage onto the Mercy as she flies out. But Link FM getting grappled up onto the high ground, drops down, gets picked up again by the cat, gets speared. Milky gets taken down by Link. Tracking dart onto Link FM, force the cat Bastion out. Blue very far in right now. Squeaker going down. Blue choosing to go out. Jeff was the one who picked off Squeaker. Here comes the Sierra ult. Both Link and Fanternal go down. That is the Cat Bastion dead for Blockslop Inc. Is just Blue left alive. He gets speared. He tries to get out. Gets Suzu'd by Milky Way. She saves his life yet again. And we see as Squeaker sets up on the height, Yo-Yo pushing aggressively onto Squeaker. Squeaker goes down to the burst from Yo-Yo. Blue going in aggressively with Meteor Strike. Getting hit. Jumps in. Milky able to take down Yo-Yo. And here's the Terror Surge from Jeff taking down the rest of Blockslop Inc. Squeaker looking to get on the back. Try and see if he can get either a pick or some back cap progress here. Blue on the high ground here. There is the recall from Lex. Squeaker getting the stick onto Yo-Yo. Blue jumps into dropship to help. Link pushed back by Jeff. Jeff very low here. Both Jeff and Bossman, the only ones left alive for Pigeonwatch. Squeaker taking down Jeff and Lex. Blue taking down Bossman. Blue on the high ground. And all right, the punch comes out from Blue Dragon Flood. Hitting Yo-Yo. He misses the second punch and goes down. There's the pulse. It sticks onto the Bastion. Squeaker taking down Yo-Yo. But Jeff pushes in aggressively. And with the Valkyrie, Jeff is not going to take any damage. Valkyrie and Fortify. It is just 30 seconds left. Blue going onto the high ground, staging for a touch in case it is needed. All right, Blue punching, missing the high ground. Walks forward. Link gets taken down by Yo-Yo. Jeff takes down Blue. And here comes the Sierra ult. A bunch of ults dropped from Pigeonwatch. Terror Surge able to take down the last two remaining members of Blockslop Inc. And Pigeonwatch are going to hold, and it is going to be 1-1. All right, for our last map, we have Runosapi. Blockslop Inc. choosing to keep their team comp mostly the same, but with Squeaker on Sojourn and Blue on Zarya. Pigeonwatch keeping the same backline. Eve back in over Yo-Yo onto the Freya. Squeaker getting 2 picks early on both the supports. And Pigeonwatch is going to be going down before I even get to finish talking about their team. Lex on the Emray and Jeff on the Junker Queen. Eve swapping over to the Sierra from the whatever her name is. Onto the Sierra from the Freya. All right, that's an aggressive Castian form from Link. Fanternal able to pull him out after getting that pick onto Eve. And forward spawn is already grabbed by Blockslop Inc. Squeaker getting forced out by Bossman very low, forced to use Suzu already. Bossman does go down, Link FM taking him down. Jeff getting taken down in the end by Link. Squeaker taking down Lex and Soul Eater going down, and Blockslop Inc. are going to continue to push this forward. Eve getting some early poke onto blue, forcing him back. Squeaker taking a very aggressive angle, getting taken down by the tracking dart. Um, and here comes the Bastion ult from Link FM. Dropped on point. Fanternal going down to Lex. Lex getting a nice off angle to force the team into him. And Pigeonwatch was able to sandwich Blockslop Inc. and take them down. All right. We see Lex picking off Fanternal early. Jeff pushing onto Squeaker, looking to get that kill. Suzu comes out, pops the Carnage or the JQ ult in response, the Rampage, but Blue's bubble is able to cleanse it. Eve able to take down Squeaker though, and it's just Milky and Blue versus the rest of Pigeonwatch. Milky getting very, very low. Fanternal actually going down again. Lex getting taken down by Milky and Link's grenade. Blue now pushing aggressively forward to try and stop the push of Pigeonwatch. Link FM taking down Soul Eater. Milky taking down Boss Man. That is a Kiriko diff. Jeff taking down Squeaker. Link taking down Eve. Now Jeff gets melted by the rest of Blockslop Inc. And they have control of the objective again. Getting back to middle. All right. 4 ults on the side of Blockslop Inc. Close to their 5th. Whereas Pigeonwatch only have Emrail. Lex takes down Milky very early. Link dropped in by the cat. What the all right, the ult comes out from Lex. Blue taken down by the Emray ult. Eve able to trade or kill Link, and Bossman saves her in return. And now Fanternal is forced to escape with his life. All right. Squeaker getting very low, forced to get bubbled. Fanternal escapes alongside him. Blue popping the bubble on himself. Out of bubbles now. Pigeonwatch. Here comes Squeaker with an aggressive overclock on an off angle. Getting very low, but Jeff also extremely low. Taken down in the end by Blue. And bubble onto the cat to protect him as he drags Lex off the map. Very good teamwork there from Blockslop Inc. Now we see as Fanternal takes down Bossman, Milky takes down Eve, and Soul Eater jumps off the map to reset. Jeff taking down Milky Way. Blue taken down by Lex. It's just Pigeonwatch in the feed. Taking a very clean, dry fight there against Blockslop Inc. Pigeonwatch coming up on their offensive ults. Blockslop Inc. only really having Deadeye in response. Ooh, Sweer gets an early pick on the boss, man. That is pretty good for them. But the tracking dart comes out from Eve and just absolutely demolishes Squeaker. Link going down, wasting the Deadeye in front of the Nano to Emre. Or not the Nano to Emre, the Emre ult. Alright. Soul Eater dropping out with Lex. Fanternal getting the touch, Squeaker getting the next one, but point is flipped. Pigeonwatch having the lead now with only 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. It's going to be very hard to recover. Blue doesn't have a bubble to cleanse this, and Squeaker's going to go down, and so is he. Nope, the Suzu is clean from Milky, keeps Blue alive. However, Jeff is pushing Milky aggressively. Now Jeff has switched to look at Fanternal. Link getting very low. Blue finishing off Eve, Jeff finishing off Link. It's a trade there. Blue and Squeaker finishing off Jeff in the front line. Lex taken down by Squeaker. And it is just all Squeaker in the feed. All right, Blue pops the grab onto Eve. Squeaker able to get the finishing blow. Jeff hits the final blow onto Blue. Lex picking off Milky. Squeaker popping the overclock, getting the pick onto Lex. Link taking down Bossman. Squeaker goes down to Jeff. Lex picking off Link. And it is just Pigeonwatch taking another fight. Blockslop Inc. wasting 3 ults there just to lose the fight, whereas Pigeonwatch, the only one they used was Valkyrie. All right, Blue chasing Jeff into a side room. Here comes High Noon. Sky Noon comes out, finds both supports. Link now dropped. Lex taken down. Queen. Ooh, Eve able to find the trade onto Link. Fanternal taking down Eve. All right, center regained for Blockslop Inc. No team has forward spawn yet. Lex looking at Blue. Dropping off to the side. Just before forward spawn. All right. They've captured forward spawn. Here comes the aggressive ult rush from Milky. Second rush will come out from Bossman in a second. There it is. Lex popping the override protocol. Jeff popping the rampage, and it is just block slopping, falling apart to the sheer ult economy of Pigeonwatch. And Blue goes down, and Milky goes down, and Pigeonwatch takes the series.